I had mistitled the live, and now it shall return. And now we set up the tripod so that we can eat food while at the same time doing the interview. There we are. There's the balance. There's the balance point. All right, there we are. Now we send the invite to melanated magical girls. What am I eating? Roti. Roti is the greatest of all contributions to life from the Trinidadians. The Trinidadians have blessed us with people with amazing hair decisions. They have blessed us with many spices, some great music, soca, to name one. And now the Trinis have come with an invention called roti, which is a food that is delicious. And it will echo in the halls of Valhalla. Show the food? What you mean show the food? No, I'm not showing you my freaking food. How would I do that? This ain't a mukbang. There we are. No, I'm not showing you the food, fam. You can imagine the food in your heart of hearts. You like exotic? What? Look at this exotic food right here. Such splendor, such magic that is hidden in the food. It's like a curry taco. That's what it's like a curry burrito. This is not no freaking mukbang. I'm eating because I'm hungry. Amani, hi. They have joined. Oh, do I have sound? We have sound. Royalty? What you know about some royalty? Yes, it is royalty. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good. Your choice in background is amazing.
Thank you.
Of course. Welcome to the Juaso Live. Everybody's still been told to behave themselves today. So there will be no incident. It will not be as rambunctious as it usually is. Is there anything you would like to open with before we begin the intense negotiation?
Well, I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to talk about, my manga series that I'm writing. It's been a journey, and I'm so glad that so many people truly believe in this project as much as I do. So I'm so excited.
Very glad. This is a freaking good thing. What made you want to write a manga?
Well, I majored in English. I graduated with a bachelor's in English, so I always loved writing. Writing has always been a passion of mine. I started writing poetry, and then I started writing like short stories. So I've always been like a creative type of writer, and I grew up watching anime. Sailor Moon, of course, being the first that I was introduced to as a child. And ever since then, I just fell in love with anime, especially magical girls. So the pandemic happened, so it's just like I felt like I had more time to do what I am passionate about. So I started my business, and when I had I guess they're called mascots, when the girl that I asked to do my mascots, when she drew them, it just opened my mind to like, wow, these illustrations are really cute, and I want to give these girls a story. Like, I don't want them to just be mascots of my business, but I want to make an actual story out of them. So that's when I had the idea to write an actual manga. So yeah.
Wow. That's very nice. That's very nice indeed. How do you think being classically trained in writing sets you apart from a lot of us that have been more grassroots or had to learn from like the internet straight up?
I don't know. I don't think there's too much of a difference. Besides, I spent lots of money going to school to get my degree. So I feel like that's the biggest difference because we have so much like information now on the internet that anyone can literally learn to do anything, and you could do it for free. So
Hmm. What are some of the more classical influences that you might say you have outside of anime and manga?
Influences. Let's see. I would say my biggest influences would be there's no particular author, I don't think, but as far as anime goes, I feel like my biggest influences right now is just seeing all the different types of anime out there and just getting ideas, getting ideas from basically the stories that has already been written and just putting a twist on it and making it my own. I feel like those are like the biggest influences that I have at the moment.
What are some of the things you've been seeing in the plot structure and the character writing of shows now that we might not have seen in like Sailor Moon or like Cardcaptor Sakura, an anime of that era?
Plot structures that we're seeing now, like in today's anime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um. I don't know. I always felt like the plot has always kind of remained the same, in my opinion. As far as okay, you have the hero, or you know, have the main protagonist, and they're the good guys, and they're fighting evil, or they're training. They're in training, trying to be the best hero or the best um, magical girl they can be. You know, I feel like that's always been a constant in anime, and that's the reason why I like it so much. You know, it's just so inspirational, and it truly teaches you that you can start from the bottom and move your way up. You know, all it takes is hard work and believing in yourself.
That's a fact. Do you think there's a difference between writing like the archetypal hero story for like a male main character versus a female main character?
Difference. I would say, I feel like for female archetype characters, I feel like their personality is a little more different. Like their personalities are more like cute and bubbly and you know girly, especially with when it comes to magical girls. As far as the guys, I feel like they make the guys. I feel like there's more variety to the guy characters more than the girl characters. Ooh, is that
I
your
think you're
backyard?
right. Oh, now my cat decided to take a little stroll. He ain't supposed
Aw.
to. I had to set him right real quick.
So cute.
Yeah, if the house starts getting taken over by mice, that's gonna be on my head. So we gotta make sure he does his job. I think you're right. And we now have. I think that's one of the things that we're getting now is more diversity in characters. Because like it seems like in the '90s, oftentimes if there was a female protagonist, she'd be like Usagi or the character from Fruits Basket. I forget her name. Where they're like,
Toru. Yeah.
what's her name?
Toru.
Koru.
Toru, like with a T. Toru.
Toru.
Mm-hmm.
Like tiger. What is it? What is it? Do you know what her name means?
No.
It's okay. It's been a long time. But with them, they were very oblivious, and so although they had like good hearts, their oblivious nature caused stupidness to happen in their lives. Whereas like over 2010, we've seen like Akame from Akame ga Kill. We've seen the heroes in Kill la Kill. We've seen the people of Madoka Magica, where they're more layered and they have their own motivations and they want to do stuff besides make the world pretty and innocent. They have vendettas, they have histories, and they're acting on them. And I think we couldn't have gotten that 20 years ago because shonen and JoJo were very diametrically opposed. Whereas now I think that line has been kind of blurred because after Berserk, dudes were able to accept that characters have feelings. And it's okay for the characters to have feelings. And you can still kick somebody's face off and have feelings at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about My Hero and Demon Slayer, like characters in those anime. It's like they're so emotional, yet they're so strong and powerful and can beat anyone up no matter, they can be crying and still beating someone up at the same time.
Yes! Tanjiro feels pain for everybody he's ever laid hands on and keeps laying hands on people.
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter. Like, you can still get this beaten, but I still care about you, you know?
I'll pray for you after the fact.
Exactly.
How do you stop yourself from falling into the world building trap, especially in your first issue?
Okay. World building. Like me focusing more on the setting more than the characters?
Focusing on, yes, the world building trap is when someone wants to set up the crazy thing that's happening in the future, and so they won't hook the reader in the beginning. How do you dodge that? Or what's your strategy for writers to dodge that world building trap from happening to them?
Okay. Well, when I write something, I feel like it's important to start with a character first. You know, I like to develop the characters first because I feel like once you develop the characters and give the characters a personality, I feel like it's easier to, you know, move on to the storyline and the plot and the setting and all of that. So I feel like when you start with the characters first, it makes it easier to not, you know, fall into that trap.
Do you build out their histories or like their personalities?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that was the very first thing that I did with all of the girls that I have, because they started off being my mascots for my business. So I felt like I automatically had to give them some type of, you know, personality, some type of interest and hobby right away. Like I wanted them to be very relatable, you know, to whoever is, you know, reading about them. And so when I did that, I find it to be easier to give them a backstory, to give them history, to, you know, and just build upon that instead of trying to think of all of these things first and then putting them in the story, you know.
Who was the first?
The first character that I built on, I would say, was Jasmine Scott. So she is I guess she's like the main one. And then there's the teacher, Sarah Starr. So those two were the first that I built upon because I feel like their stories are more important. And then as they progress and their stories progress, then the other girls like come into play.
Do you feel like the other characters did you write the other characters so that they'd be attached to the main characters? Or did you write them so that they'd end up coming into contact with the main characters later on?
So they actually come in contact with the main character pretty soon. One of the other characters, Brianna, she actually comes in contact with Jasmine like almost right away. Like like the orientation process of like when you're going to school and there's an orientation. So they meet like right away. And then not too far later into the story, the other girls, you know, and they meet up. The last girl that meets up with them is Danielle, but it's all still very in the same timeline. Like it's not like Sailor Moon where, you know, she meets them like after a few episodes, you know. I know she met, I think it was Mercury she met first, and then Jupiter, and then Mars, and then so on and so forth. So I think it took a few episodes for her to like meet all of them. So with my characters, it happens pretty sudden.
Yeah, because it happens in life. My entire friend group of people in college, I met most of them in the same hour.
Wow.
Because you meet people by meeting other people. So like
Yeah.
people's friends generally end up becoming your friends, or people you bump into happen to be with you when you bump into other people.
Yeah, exactly. Two of the girls are sisters actually, so they were already together. Yeah. So it made it easy for them to like form their group, you know.
Very nice. What is this stream about? We're interviewing, I actually don't know your name. What's your name?
Oh, Portia.
Portia. We are interviewing Portia from Melanated Magical Girls. One of my We're not going to play favorites here, but we're interviewing Portia because she's dope. There we are. And she's written this manga, and she has this business, and life is freaking good. Sailor Moon, the best rewatch. Sour Love, stop lying. Everybody knows that the best rewatch is Rosario Vampire Season 2. You don't have to watch Season 1 if you already saw Season 2. It's written in the Bible. Next question. What do you feel is missing from a lot of the Black-owned manga that are being released or that have been released over the past couple years?
Sadly, I haven't read any Black manga. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've been so wrapped up in what's already out there as far as like what I'm already used to. Like I didn't even like focus on like Black owned manga. So I think that's something that I would like to get more into. Do you have any like suggestions?
Yes, I'm not going to say the obvious one because I saw people in the live already doing it. We're not doing that out here. Respect to the senpai. Now, number one, the greatest comic on Saturday. You familiar with Saturday AM and Noir Caesar?
Have I seen it?
Are you familiar with them? So Saturday AM is like DC Comics, and then Noir Caesar is like Marvel Comics for like Black anime people. So Saturday AM is like an anthology, like Shonen Jump, and then Noir Caesar, you have access to everybody's individual chapters on there.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's tight. And so with Saturday AM, because it's an anthology, they have literally like hundreds of chapters, hundreds of magazines filled individually within tens of chapters. So easily they have like thousands of chapters of manga now that's made by creators from all over the world, people from Senegal and America and freaking Wisconsin and Brazil and freaking the Philippines. Like, they out there.
Wow.
My favorite thing on Saturday AM would be Clock Striker. It's about this girl, and she has like a prosthetic arm, and she's like a mechanical genius. And then she goes on adventures and stuff. It's like a really cool shonen story. After that, after Clock Striker, it would be, do you like martial arts or do you like fantasy more?
I feel like I'm more of a fantasy person.
Fantasy? Like dark fantasy or light fantasy?
Fantasy, period.
Noir Caesar has a book called Try Again. It's about like this person that's basically a spiritual assassin with an amazing afro. It goes hard.
Wow. I'm a fan of afros, so.
They're great. They're just hard to maintain. Shrinkage has gotten me today.
The hardest part is like getting it like a perfect circle. Like every time I wear my afro, it's like I try to get it like a perfect circle, and then I just give up and I'm just like, forget it, and I just.
The spiky afro looks cooler. You good. Picked out afro is scary. I think, honestly, I feel like in the 70s, they was using some crazy African concoction in order to make it work. I don't think it was just made natural. I don't think they picked it out. Because if you look at the Black Panthers, none of the Black Panthers got perfect afro. These guys were struggling. The Jackson 5.
I know. It's like, did they have some type of like tool, like a round hair tool? They just stick their hair in?
Yes. And they were sweating on the stage the whole time, dressed in makeup because the lights was dumb hot, and no shrinkage at all. Something is up.
Exactly. My hair always shrinks. As soon as I walk outside and it's humid, it's like, I'm like, why?
Because we are people of nature, not out here putting chemicals in our. Because everybody that had afros, 10 years later, they all had perms, and now they all bald. So you good. Hairspray is their secret. Is there some extra ingredients in Afro Sheen that I don't know about that otaku Fifi? Angelica Davis had a perfect afro.
Oh, yeah.
Angela Davis is not succumbing to the laws of physics. That woman got attacked by the government, and now she teaches at a university with dreadlocks. She is immune to laws of nature. He's right. Angela Davis is greatness. Who are some of the live action women that inspire you in your creation or in your business?
A few of the live action women that inspired my business. As far as anime or like period?
Period.
Okay. I would say So you know this company, Adorned by Chi?
That's senpai.
Yeah, like I don't know when I got introduced to her. I think I was like randomly looking up things online and I came across like her, because I know she has a comic out and her shirts, and like I just was like, wow, everything is so cute. Like the aesthetic is like all what I'm about, really. So like she really inspired me, with her styles and her, incorporating black girls into her business, to her comics and everything like that. And she really inspired me. And then as far as all the other animes that I've watched, like I mentioned, girls like Sailor Moon and Toru, and girls that are just so cute and nice and bubbly and kawaii, like all of that truly inspired me. So I think about maybe half or more of the shirts that I created, is based off of Sailor Moon. So
That's good. Sailor Moon is like Naruto's for adorable people. Naruto fans, we be dusty sometimes.
but you guys are hardcore. Like you guys go hard for Naruto.
We have to. If people keep being reckless, it's not as bad as Dragon Ball. And people don't like, people hate when you want to win a team. That's what it is. It's like everybody that likes Adorn by Chi, and like I mean not well, everybody that likes wholesome things. There's the dark side. So everybody that likes Sailor Moon, it's like the Antichrist. The Antichrist of Sailor Moon is like Madoka Magica. And there's these little silent factions that secretly go to war with each other. And watching them is hilarious. But in Naruto, both the entire fan base is just built out of factions that go to war with each other.
Yes, but like I feel like Moonies, they also go hard for Sailor Moon. Like especially when Dragon Ball Z is brought up. It's so funny. Like I love how we all just attack them. like Goku is nothing. Sailor Moon can beat him. Like for the longest time, like Goku was like number one. Like nobody can beat him. Nobody. And then the Sailor Moon fans are like, nope, actually, you're wrong. And it's like now I feel like we're more confident and more open to voice that, because back then people will just shoot you down. Like if you're a Sailor Moon fan, like, oh, Sailor Moon, she's not powerful, like, oh, blah blah blah. But when you actually look at her powers and the range of her powers, like he can't compare. He just can't.
So you're telling me Sailor Moon's power scaling was more broken than Dragon Ball's before Super?
Yeah,
think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, like there's just so many. There's like a whole list. And then all the weapons she has and the power of friendship. You cannot go against the power of friendship.
I can't tell you you're wrong. Because Goku don't got no. The one thing Goku ain't got is weapons. All he had was the power pole, and now don't do nothing against nobody.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still Goku fans still go hard for him. So everybody has their anime, like One Piece, fans. I think there's more of them than any anime, right? Like One Piece fans, there's like a lot.
You know who has the best fans out of everybody? Fairy Tail. Because all the Fairy Tail's fans love each other. There's no internal beef at all ever against, like, everybody universally hates Fairy Tail, but they're not held together by the power of friendship. Fairy Tail fans are held together by the power of friendship. Like, I think the list is like it's like Fairy Tail, then Sailor Moon, then Naruto, in terms of like fan bases that could have a sustainable country and not rip each other apart. Dragon Ball, that would be like North Korea. It would be a catastrophe. But I think Sailor Moon fans are almost as solid as Fairy Tail fans in terms of being like good, decent people.
Yeah, I love Fairy Tail. Oh my gosh. Like all the characters, they're so well rounded. I love
Yes. Everybody got character development, and it makes sense.
Yes, it does. I love, the type of characters that I love. It's like the ones who you feel like they look weak, but they're not. Like I love those type of characters, and they're so humble. I know there's a lot of fans that like the angry type of anime character that's always angry and yelling, and they're always like, what is it? His name is Benkaku. Am I saying it right? Benkaku
Bangkok.
from My Hero.
Oh, Bakugo.
Bakugo, yeah. I butchered his name terribly. I butchered it. Yeah, like I don't understand why people like him. Like he's so annoying to me. All he does is yell and he's always angry. I can't stand those type of characters. I'm like, can't he take a chill pill? Can he just relax? Why is he always on Deku's back? Like just let him live. Let him be great.
I don't think some people have experienced being silent and powerful. I don't think a lot of people know what that feels, which is weird because I think for the thing that attracted me to anime was that, as you said, the best characters were low key until something needed to happen. And then all of their potential and all of their power, especially when they were like cultivated by their desire to like help somebody they cared about, all that power they were holding inside of them, they would bring it out for the people. And I think that's what makes anime connect to us and why anime fans are different than like comic fans or video game fans. And I think as anime has gotten more universal and more mainstream, I think a fan base of like, I hate to say this, regular people enjoys
the regular
vengeful, hateful characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's sad.
Sure is, because Bakugo going to give himself a heart palpitation. He keep going on the way we do.
It's just he has all this pride, like, and the fall happens after pride, like, it's kind of like if you can't beat them, then join them. Like he should just be together with Deku and just be great together.
Did you just hit us with a verse? You just hit us with a verse, people. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. my series actually has a lot of Christian undertones actually. That's one of my inspirations as well. So had to put that in there.
The interesting thing about the Christian paradigm or the way that stories theologically are written is that they have all of the archetypes represented and any possible scenario has also been represented. So if you do it right, you're in a very interesting position because you have all of the archetypical stories laid upon you and you get to decide what scenarios to put people in. What Bible story do you feel encapsulates good character writing the most?
Ooh, let's see. Wow, there's so many. I would say one of them being the story of Paul. Like, oh my gosh, like his story always touches my heart. Like he was first Saul, this guy that persecuted Christians, like he hated them. And like his whole life got turned around when he, was visited by Christ. And now he went by Paul. Now he's helping Christians and he's going on this journey, setting up churches. And like people are like, weren't you the one that was persecuting Christians? Like, we don't trust you. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you was hunting us down.
Yeah. Like he was when he brought Christians and people were stoning Christians, he will hold their coats. He will hold their coats and stand and be like, yeah, get him. Like he was all for persecuting Christians. Like that was all on his mind. And now it's like he did a complete like 180.
Yeah.
So that story always captivated me.
I can imagine, because I think that's the only time that happened in the whole book. Because anytime that I think that there's not a story that's not been told already, I open the book and it's like, oh, it's this is there too. Oh, yeah, like Job or freaking What's homie that got his whole city blown up? Lot's life was freaking trash, but it was very entertaining to read. It's like dessert.
It just makes you think like, wow, I'm glad that's not my life. And like the whole, even like when it comes to stories, you know, I feel like there's always a Jesus character. There's always a savior character, you know, and there's always, you know, the evil dark character like Satan, you know, like in every story that's how it is. So like I feel like in every story there's always like Christian undertones if you really look at it.
It does, because those archetypes have been around for a long time. Like before we got the Christian canon, we had the Kemetic canon. You have stories of like Isis and Haru and Ra. And before that, you got the Epic of Gilgamesh, which was horribly written, but the components was there somewhere. It was doing something out in Mesopotamia. And I think as time has evolved, we entered the era of subversion, where the bad guys weren't bad. And the good guys didn't have to be good. And do you think we're still in that era of subversion where people are testing what the archetypes are and what they mean, and there's more complexity in them?
Oops, sorry, repeat that.
Do you think we're still in that era of subversion where people are testing the bounds of archetype?
Yeah, I feel like they're, especially when it comes to like the evil character or the bad guy, it's like they make it so that you're still like kind of rooting for them. Like they make it so, cause like they make them so relatable. They make them so human like. It's like you have no choice but to still kind of be on their side and rooting for them, you know? And then maybe you're kind of hoping they turn good, you know, at like towards the end. Like you're hoping like, oh man, I hope this person goes on the good side. I hope they don't have to die, you know? It's like you're kind of still rooting for them, even though they're supposedly the evil, you know, character.
Yeah, Marvel did a really good job of that. And they did that. Disney also started doing it as well. And I've been watching like as soon as Disney absorbed Marvel, their plots got very Marvelish. And it's been interesting to watch now. And I'm curious if as anime expands to the West, their plot lines get more not simplistic, but I feel like in anime, unlike comics, because of the long strong canon from it being made by the same writer, it feels like in anime, as time goes on, you build a relationship with the world and the characters, so the things that happen to the characters are amplified by the world they live in.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's cool. I really do hope that, I feel like anime is starting to become a little bit more mainstream, especially, you know, all the shows that's coming out on Netflix. I feel like a lot of people are really getting more into anime, and I guess different cartoons or shows that can pass as anime, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like there's always this argument or line like, is it anime? Is it not anime? But it definitely has a lot of anime like tones to it, you know. So I feel like I really want American cartoons to just get with the program, you know, and just be more anime like, you know, like just move on, move towards character development and the art, like make it more realistic. Like I'm tired of seeing cartoon characters with 3 fingers and 4 fingers, like like make them look more realistic, you know, like I guess it's more expensive doing it that way, but you know.
What do you feel needs to be done to fund that quality of animation? Because it doesn't seem like advertising is doing that much in the era of streaming, and Netflix is eventually going to run out of movies, run out of money from making all these trash shows. So what do we do to monetize good animation so more of it gets made?
I just feel so cheap. and really hire like quality, you know, animators, you know, people that have real skill that can create something that people will really get into, you know, and not just be like pick up some random person and be like, okay, draw this, you know, and here's the storyline, and you know, just throw things at them and like force them into this box. I feel like there needs to be more open creativity for people to just, you know, draw what is on their hearts and create stories that are authentic and not just, the same old, type of thing that it's like, okay, these type of people gravitate towards this, so we're just going to keep doing this because it works. But to go outside of the box, and truly root and get people that can, create that type of, illustration, and not just stick to the same old type of illustrators that are creating things that, I guess, I feel like a lot of things are more geared towards maybe children, and maybe that's why they're more kiddie-like. But they need to know that adults like cartoons too. Like, there are big kid adults who like cartoons and animation, so they need to get with the program.
Yeah, the craziest thing was being an artist, going to the schools that were responsible for animators, seeing how much was required of the people to get into these freaking schools, and then watching the things that they made on TV. This does not compute. I had to show these people a portfolio of like 90 different figure studies. I had a whole sketchbook full of naked old people, and we had to draw like backgrounds and textures and stuff. And then I turned on Disney Channel, and I see characters who are bouncing across the screen because they ain't want to spend money to animate them walking.
Yeah, like how? Like, why?
I don't know. I think the solution is to make like shorter episodes with less fluff, because I feel a lot of time is wasted make with fluff. I think a lot of time is wasted with fluff. But also, it's a balance, because if you look at American animation, there's a guild. There's the Animators Guild. And so you're guaranteed $1,000 a week when you work in adult American animation. And you can do a lot with $1,000 a week. You know how much animators for Studio Mappa get paid? $34 a cut, which means on a good day, that's like $90 a day.
Wow. What?
It's like $600. So if we get them paid more than anime people, we ain't got no excuse. And I think merchandising is a good way to raise funds. I think crowdfunding is a good way to raise funds. And I'm interested to see how people revolutionize the model of monetizing quality art and quality animation as time goes on.
Yeah. They need to give people a chance, just give people a chance. Like, they don't even have to have like a master's in art or anything. Like, there are so many great animators and drawers that, learn, like you said, like from YouTube or, the internet, and they just continue to grow and practice their craft. And there's so many people that they're so talented and so skilled, and they're not known. Like, they're just not known because people aren't giving them a chance, because they don't have a degree or they don't have all this experience in being in these studios or whatever. It's because they're not given a chance. That's why.
You're right. It's weird to see. And I guess that's the benefit of companies in our sphere becoming so successful now, is that we get to see what they choose to invest in and how they choose to do it. I'm watching Shigame Studios very carefully. I'm watching Adventurous Mind Studios very carefully. I'm watching Bayard Shitagio really carefully. These are like Black-owned animation studios that are inspired by anime. And so it'll be interesting to see what they come up with in due time. Because it's needed.
Definitely. I want to see more like Boondocks, Like, I fell in love with Boondocks. Like, the animation style, the storylines, like, it was so relatable to Black people because it told like Black stories and what Black people like went through and are going through, and they bring out all these different type of characters that we know. Like, they have all these rappers. They have, what was it? Rashido Brown, or that
Rashido
one character.
Brown,
yeah, like they knew what they were doing. Even like Obama and different, people like that was on the show. Like, I feel like they need to build upon stuff like that.
Indeed. Do you think that, because the Boondocks is a perfect example of someone who was given all of the resources necessary to create exactly what he wanted and that made it successfully. And we don't see Aaron McGruder anymore. And do you know who LaShawn Thomas is? You didn't see Yasuke, did you?
Did I see what?
Yasuke.
Yes, sounds familiar.
The one with the black samurai.
Oh, no. I think I tried, but I think I did attempt to watch it, but yeah. It didn't grab my attention. I don't know. I feel bad because I felt like a lot of people was rooting for that anime, especially since, you know, it's a black character, but I couldn't get into it.
What possibly couldn't have grabbed your attention? Was there something that was a turn off for you in Yasuke?
Okay, for me personally, I like eye candy. And he just wasn't eye candy for me.
Yasuke wasn't cute enough? He needed a little bit more moe in his life? You don't like your samurai dusty?
No, not that dusty. No, I couldn't get into it. Yeah. But
You didn't like the Florida dreads and the Philly beard combination that wasn't doing it for you?
I guess I'm just used to a certain type of, you know, look with anime characters. And he didn't have that look for me. He just I don't know.
What are some examples of characters that have that look?
It's kind of sad though because a lot of them are I guess white characters. Like, I don't know, like their hair. Let's see, who can I think? Well, for one, my number one is, you know, Tuxedo Mask. Mamoru Darien. I don't know. It's just they look pretty. Like they look cute. Even let's see. Who can I don't know. There's just so many. Even the characters from Fruits Basket. Like all of them are good looking in my opinion. Like all of them. So I don't know. It just wasn't cute to me. But it wasn't supposed to be. Like it's not supposed to be cute. That wasn't a cute type of anime. So I mean that wasn't the style they were going for.
Anime that was.
Like their audience, I guess, you know, were because I heard that the fighting wasn't up there in certain people. And when I was hearing people's opinions of it, they didn't like that. They could have done more with it. Basically, they could have done more with the fighting, with the storyline. I even saw, I guess this one girl said that he looked gray. Like the color of his skin looked gray. Like they could have done better. I just feel like they could have made him look a little more, you know, attractive.
You preaching today.
Yes, Inuyasha. I love Inuyasha. He is so cute. He's adorable. And he's powerful. Like, cute and powerful.
Quality combination. I don't know how many of y'all have seen Wow. What's the show with the girl that's in the host club? There we are. I don't know how many of y'all have seen Orin Host Club. But
that's my favorite. I love that anime.
What do you like about it?
Well, it's a shoujo, right? Like it's so cutesy and romantic, and there's a lot of comedy, and the characters, like they each have their own like personality type. And it's funny because like that's what they play off of. That's their whole thing. Like each member of the host club has their own like type of trope or personality where like the girls, they have their own like fan club, you know, and the girls pick and choose who they want based off of like their personality and their character, and they make them, they look attractive, you know, like they're like tall and slender, and um like they're cool, and their hair is like shiny, and you know, like even the princely type of character, I think that's the one of the main characters, the princely type, like how they make him so charming, but he's also, he has insecurities, you know. So I love how like how fluffy it is, but it can also have like deep moments too.
I see. So, if we make pretty dudes with very long necks, very long legs, that wear skinny clothes, and their eyes go like whoop, then we might be in the house. Now, I will ask you is because unfortunately I don't like dudes. So, in making a black anime that has attractive black dudes in it, what type of hairstyles are we supposed to be? Do we need diversity in the hairstyles, or as our focus group, are there things that people like specifically of your tribe?
Um, well, black people, we have a variety of hairstyles and hair types and hair textures. So I feel like they can do so much with that. You know, like the afros, cornrows, dreads, afro puffs, twists, like box braids. The list goes on. There's so much you can do. And like I like those type of hairstyles, you know. So if they just, I think they're coming out with a new anime on, maybe it's on Netflix, I'm not sure, but they showed one of their black characters, and it's a guy, it's a dude, and I think he had like little mini dread twists, and I guess it was like tapered on the side or something like that, and that was cute. Like he looked cute. You know, so like it's possible they can do that, you know. They don't have to make them look old and dusty and crusty, you know.
I'm glad that animators can make appealing black men in Japan. That means a lot to me. That representation is needed. I need something to aspire to. I wanted to be like Psy in a past life, and that went horribly wrong very fast.
Oh, Miles. Yeah, Miles, the Spider-Man. Yeah, he was cute. He's adorable.
Quality. See, now we're getting a good lexicon. Because the reason I'm asking you this, madam, is because when I pick up your book, I expect to see some dudes in there that make me start questioning. This is like, maybe I like the color lavender now.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, like I'm developing some characters, male characters now, like black male characters. And there's different types. There's different types of, you know, male characters. There's like the soft, more feminine type. There's the masculine, strong type. There's the quiet, subtle type, you know, and there's just so many, you know, the list goes on. So I want to represent, you know, all those type of characters, and, you know, make them look, you know, like how black people look, you know, like we're attractive people. Like maybe other people may not think so, but we are. So why not represent that, you know?
Very good. Can we get a future Trunks but black? Have you not been on Instagram ever, madam? All people want to do is take characters that already exist. The nice people, at least they draw a new body and a new face. The people that, it's some people that will take the Google image without even increasing the resolution, and they will drop the color brown on top of them, turn down the opacity, and now you got a slightly darker skinned character than you did in the first place. It's a mess, but
Yeah,
it exists.
that's just lazy.
I mean, indeed it is, but some people like man cleavage. If there's one thing Dragon Ball gave to the people, it is an abundance of man cleavage in characters.
I don't know. I never really cared too much for the animation style of Dragon Ball. Like it was just too much muscle for me. Like it was just too much bulkiness. Like
This makes sense. You can't, hugging muscle is weird sometimes. Can't.
Every character had muscle. Every character.
Even the kids.
Yeah. It's like every character was on steroids.
Here you go again, not being wrong.
Like their thick, meaty necks. Like I just couldn't.
This is okay. This because there is a diversity of body types that exist in the world, and we need to be respectful of that and show the different body types that exist in different parts of the community and stuff. So, yeah, everybody ain't got to punch holes in walls. We're going to reserve that for the place where that needs to happen. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, what do you hope people get from your project?
I think the main thing I want people to get is I want them to get so the biggest thing was for me is representation of, you know, Black people in anime and manga. So I want them to get that. I want them to get the different types of, you know, character types, you know, in the anime and the manga, and the different types of, you know, it doesn't just have to be, you know, the Black girl doesn't always have to be like angry or tough, but she can also be soft and cute too. You know, I want them to get and understand the variety of different personalities and characters that you can give Black, you know, characters, you know, in anime, in manga, in TV in general. You know, like the Black girl doesn't always have to be the angry, strong type. You know, it's good to have that, you know, but that doesn't have to be, you know, that all the time. So I want them to get that, and I want them to get, like the morals behind, you know, the different stories that, you know, will be told through the girls. So I think that's the biggest thing. Those are like the two biggest things.
I think those are important. Representation and morals are huge. We didn't really get a lot of morals in a lot of cartoons past like the early 2000s. And it shows. After 2010, we got a whole lot of stupidity in a lot of our freaking cartoons. And that's the reason a lot of kids out here, story for another day.
Yeah, exactly.
It is good that you care about the people. It's good that you want the people to have good things. I thank you for taking the time to give of yourself, our people, a story that makes us look good and that inspires us to be better. Because in the generation of nerds that we occupy sometimes, because of the lack of stories that were indicative of us, that were positive, a lot of our people developed a distaste for each other and developed miscommunication with each other. Because ultimately, especially as nerds, we all believed the same thing. We all largely wanted the same things as well, which was to be understood and to have a community that was supportive, that we could have certain conversations with. And it sucks that everybody hasn't had a pleasurable experience, but I think as time goes on and more amazing things get made and communities like this continue to grow, I think we'll be in a position where like the people 5-10 years from us will have a big foundation that they can build on top of to make all of the manga and anime and video games that should have been made already.
Yeah, get with the program, people.
Thank you for blessing the live. It means a lot. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
Well, no, the project is still going on. So, you know, if you're out there and you believe in the project, you can share. You can share it with your friends and family. You can, you know, donate. You can give. And I am looking forward to, you know, bringing this content out for people to read. And I'm hoping, like, my dream is to really see it on TV and like to really see it come to life. Like, I really want that so bad.
It's gonna happen. It'll be fun to watch. And I await seeing you at a convention with boxes of manga to distribute to the people.
Yes. Yay. Hopefully.
Do you think you'll be hitting any cons this year or next?
Um, well, I kind of kept it on the down low, but I am going to GalaxyCon, which is at the end of this
Golly.
month. Yeah,
Oh, snap.
yeah, but I'm not going as like a vendor or anything. Like I'm just going strictly like for fun because it's my first con actually. So.
Well, I know you'll enjoy it. Cons are
Mhm.
fun. And yeah, you can do a lot at conventions. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what you think. I'm awaiting the review of GalaxyCon and all of the hijinks.
Yes, coming up
Thank
soon.
Thank you for blessing the live. You're dope. People of the live, follow this person, share her in your stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much energy do you have right now?
How much energy do I have?
Yeah, I'm about to. If you would like, we can be ridiculous for 5 minutes before we go back to being all professional and getting projects done.
I have a good amount of energy, especially since I just took a nap. So.
I forget who it was. Actually, no, I don't. I'm not going to say their name because we're protecting the innocent out here. Do you think there is a how do we handle the all right, how do we handle the uplifting of melanated aesthetics in the more accentuated romantic form without feeding the hypersexualization of melanated individuals outside of melanated communities? In English, how do we make black hentai without these white people messing it up?
Oh my gosh. I don't really have any knowledge. I never actually watched hentai before.
What? What? Hold up. You're a girl anime fan that's never seen hentai?
I mean, a lot of the anime out there already has a lot of suggestive content without, it being explicitly hentai.
Like what? I need examples.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if you've seen this anime. I don't remember the name of it, but there's this anime about monster girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about monster girls, and I guess there's this. It's a guy. You know that anime where it's always that one guy and all the girls like gravitate towards him.
A harem?
Yeah, it's a harem. Most harems, I feel like, has suggestive content in it. Anyway.
Wait. What kind of suggestive content could a harem possibly have in it?
Like how they're always like if they fall over, like their whole skirt and dress is up and you see everything.
That happens. That's physics. That's how physics works. It happened to me. It happened. That's never happened to you before?
No. Like they make them super clumsy, like on purpose. And like they just stay there. It's like they fall like perfectly, like with their butt up in the air. Like who falls like that?
People that have masterful form. Maybe they learned how to fall from cats. I'm not going to throw Amani, but
and it's like they do extra sound effects, like the extra moaning and the ooh and the ah and the like. It's just so extra. And like their boobs are humongous. Like it's just all in your face.
that happens too.
They can be in middle school, and their boobs, they're like double D's.
Yeah. Maybe I just had a really weird childhood now that I think about it. Maybe that was because I would watch harem anime. This is perfectly this is relatable content. But now that I think, wow, so that didn't happen and that wasn't a part of your life at all.
No.
Oh. Wow.
Like if you look at Sailor Moon, like even Sailor Moon, like you don't see a lot of fan service. You don't see like because they wear tiny skirts. But do you see their underwear? Do you ever see their underwear? No.
There's no underwear in Sailor Moon?
I haven't seen it.
Interesting. Wow.
And they don't have gigantic boobs, you know, like they're just normal looking, cute middle school girls. Like they don't need all that. They don't need all of that.
I'm glad there aren't middle schoolers that are being flaunted on television. That would be kind of jacked up. Hold up. You said black safe hentai is a thing? Where? I need names, fam, for research purposes.
Right, for research.
For research. Obviously. Yes. We need to know. Because honestly, I can't name like a healthy black relationship that I've seen with millennials in media ever. And that's a problem.
Wow. Yeah. I never even thought about it. Like, well, there's this one cartoon, Craig of the Creek, I think. It's kind of fairly new, I guess, but I know they've always been praised for their like representation of black families and the parents and the structure. And even the Proud Family, like that's really old though.
Yeah,
I love the Proud Family.
I've always seen like families that are like cohesive, but I've never seen like a sustainable millennial, like young people in love relationship in like a show before. Like it's always messy when it's black people.
It's always messy. Yeah, that's true. Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, it's a mess. I saw Zach and Cody and freaking Wizards of Waverly Place, and homegirl is in love with the British werewolf, and they finna get married at the end of the show. And then that doesn't happen in India. That doesn't happen in the black shows. Somebody's heart gets broken, or they end up moving to Africa, or they find it with some random girl in a parking lot. It's a mess. I don't know why that is. So how do we write black love? That's the encore.
Can you get it?
Nope.
I don't know how to get it.
You stump. That's how.
Where?
Right there.
Where's that?
My sister has lost the cat under the house.
Oh.
But yes, how do we write black love? There he is. You gotta grab him, Serene.
I'm not grabbing it.
You gotta grab him, Serene.
And then how am I going to open it?
By opening the door.
Dating almost.
He's not that heavy.
Yeah. That's been a problem. Middle schoolers dating almost adult men. Yeah, that needs to stop. But for me, I like romance. Like personally, like I know love, I know romance. So it's like basically diving into what you would want in a relationship. You know, like without the toxicness. I feel like a lot of culture nowadays, I feel like a lot of people idolize toxic relationships for some reason. And it's like why? No. You know, like would you want to be in an abusive relationship? Like for instance, Harley Quinn and the Joker. I feel like a lot of people idolize their relationship, but it's so toxic. So it's like, you know, looking at love in its purest form. And like I mentioned before, you know, like I'm a Christian, and so I look at, you know, the love of God, basically. And it's like showing true love, like true patience with the person that you love, patience and honesty, and having that genuine connection, a spiritual connection that goes beyond just physical attraction, you know. It's deepness. There's deepness to real love. So if you show that, if you represent that, you know, you can write that in anime and cartoons, you know, like it can be a thing. It's not surface level. It's not just all vain, you know, like true love is deep, it's spiritual, and it should be represented like that, you know. And that's what I want to do in my manga. I want to show like, you know, black love, and have like true love in it, a true connection. And I think that will, I feel like that will open the eyes and the hearts of people, you know, of what true love should look like, you know, in a relationship.
That was beautiful. I hope to see it because God knows we freaking need it.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope to see it tremendously because
Mm-hmm.
it's needed. It's definitely freaking needed,
Yeah.
and nobody seems to be capable of doing it or
Yeah.
have a desire to do it thus far. And so, yeah, I hope to see it because I'm not doing it. I want to destroy my enemies, Portia. I worry about love when I'm old. I need to grab my enemies by the skulls and just apply gentle pressure. But we need balance. There has to be balance in all things. There
Yeah.
have to be writers that show love. There have to be
Mm-hmm.
writers that show pain and agony. We need writers that show intelligence and strategy. That balance gives us interesting things to read. And once we've
Yeah.
read one thing, we'll go to another thing. When everything's the same, everything sucks. Diversity in the truest sense is having the ability to get what you want when the time comes. So,
Yeah.
thank you for existing. Thank you
Yay.
for blessing the life. Sour love, I know you free. Okay, see, just why I don't write black love sour love is because love is complex. And in my dealings in the mushiness, I have found that the greatest of experiences with love come from an understanding of each other. Building an understanding between characters when the story is not completely rooted in the understanding of each other means that you need subtext that develops over the course of a story and takes much time to build in your subconscious before you bring it into the conscious with raising up the concept of love in the story. And so I would need at least 20 chapters to dedicate to having a subconscious love story play out between characters before I can flip that and turn that into an active love story. And even then, it's a tragedy because all great stories that involve violence and death and viciousness are tragedies. And you don't want to see because if you overcome trauma together, you're stronger. But trauma bonding is toxic. And we don't need no toxicity right now. So I'm saving you by saving me from doing that so I can give it to people when she already gave you the good stuff. Portia gonna be the yin and I'm gonna be the yang. And that's perfectly fine. That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, and I feel like too it's based off of like experiences too. Like if you yourself have not experienced true love, then how can you write about it? You know, like it'll be really hard to do that. Especially if all you've seen in your life is toxic love, like from like your parents or your grandparents or even your friends around you. Like if that's all you've seen, if that's all you've experienced, then that's all you know. That's all you can write about. Silence.
We're in church today, family. Do you feel like love is experienced in moments, or do you think that it's experienced in acts?
I feel like it's experienced in acts because love is not just a feeling. Love is a decision. Love is a decision that you make. You know, it's not just like, oh, I feel like, oh, I like you or whatever. Like it's beyond that. You know, if you truly love someone, it takes initiative. You know, it takes you to, you know, be basically not be selfish, because I feel like a lot of people are so selfish. It's all about me, satisfying me, being there for me, loving me. You know, it's all about me. But that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like us. It's supposed to be us, not just me, not just you. It's supposed to be us. So love is a decision. It's multiple acts that you make to show that you truly care for this person.
As you speak, I have to play experiences in my head and see how they line up. And you're right. Because they're like, I, you've made me realize that because of toxicity that I've seen in my environment, I've stopped acts from being partaken so that they weren't perceived as love, so I didn't have to worry about that nonsense. And although for the destruction of one's enemies, that's great. For sustainability and all that niceness, it's not. And perhaps some contemplation and healing and stuff has to be done.
Oh, yeah.
You might make me go to therapy.
Yes, I'm all for therapy.
Do you feel like there's a lack of attention to our mental health in our community, specifically as nerds?
Yeah, like, I mean, I know now we're trying to bring it to light. Like, there's this push to bring it more to light. Like, you know, mental health is important. It's important in the Black community. It's important in the nerd community. So I feel like it needs to be more brought into light to let people know, like, Black people, like, it's like we're seeing that we have to be strong, you know, but there's so much that goes on in the inside of us. You know, there's so much, you know, in the Black culture that maybe we have experienced. Like, for one, the whole thing of like parents beating their children, like beating sense into their children, that's a lot of trauma, you know, that children have gone through because of that. And as a result, you know, there's children that grew up with insecurities, grew up with pain, and a lot of that needs to be worked out. So
You're correct. Reformation needs to be done in order to save the Black community. It begins at home and it begins in our minds, because what we think causes it manifests itself in what we act, what we do. And wow, how do you know this? Hold up, can I hear you? Can I hear you? Oh no, I can't hear you. Oh no. Oh no! I think I lost you. Did I lose you? No! No! All right. Do you want to come back or do you want to end the live here? It's up to you. I can't hear you. You want to come back? No, I can't hear you. Can you? Yeah. You want to come back? You can leave the live and then come back. Well, can you hear me? Okay. Do that. All right. Good. Instagram is trying to silence her. Yo, legit, you might be onto something, because we can't just have this much truth being spitting. This woman understands mental health, love, and Black love, and sustainable living for a community. That's dangerous. That's how planets get destroyed. Can't have people out here being positive. Never that. We need toxicity and vitriol and violence and hate. But there must be balance. This live Portia has balanced out an entire year of violent lives. Thank you for your existence. It is greatly appreciated.
can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yay!
Welcome back.
What did I miss? Did I miss anything?
No, I was gassing you up. I'm glad you didn't hear it. Snap, let's see. Yeah, how do you know these things? Why the heck are you so freaking wise? I demand answers.
Well, the biggest answer is I've been exposed to God's love. Basically, that's the number one answer right there. I've truly experienced what true love is, and He has given me so much wisdom and so much advice, and my eyes have just been open to the world. Like, my perspective of the world, of people, of events, you know, it changed from, you know, when I was younger. So yeah, like I always tell people, you know, there's religion, but then there's a relationship. You know, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, you know. Like, I have a spiritual connection to God. And so my experiences, my encounters with God has truly shaped who I am today. Like, literally, like me 10 years ago, was totally different. Totally different. So I have to owe it all to, to my relationship with God, definitely. Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. Groovy love steam.
Wow, this is good. Snap. Um, I don't even have any more stupid questions to ask. Hold up. I need people of the live. I need your help. We need to throw Portia a curveball.
What? Why?
Too many quality answers. We need sound bites. No, I'm serious. People of the live, do you have anything that you... Matter of fact, Portia, do you have any questions in, like, being in this space or community or this section of existence or whatever, in terms of, like, operating and getting stuff done, be it from the production side or business side or art side, or, like, what artists think about stuff or whatever?
Wow, that's a lot. Let's see. Okay, there's one thing that I'm really like interested in. Like I'm big on community. Like I love community. I love like connections with people, getting to know people and understanding, individual people. So, I guess my question would be like in the I guess blurred community, how are some ways that I guess maybe what are some ways that you connect with the community?
There is a man, a legendary figure, by the name of Black Sands. Now, what Black Sands has done and his exemplary, masterful experience with the blurred community since the very beginning is, he told me this when I was 15 years old, and I've lived by it every day. He said, don't market to people your age because they don't have any money. You market to families, you market to people's legacies, you make people understand that by doing business with you, they're securing their investment, they're securing your future, they're securing a better future for their children, and you will never go hungry. But Gary Vee, the greatest white man in all of business, Gary Vee says that you advertise to the children because when them children grow older, they're going to remember you. They're going to remember you as a part of your childhood, and they're going to link you to the experiences they had when they were younger. And so, from the two of those people I took, you root yourself within the community, and you put yourself in a position where people's experiences of you are connected to their experiences of the community. And if the community is not treating them well, then you show them that there's hope. And if the community is treating them well, then you honor that. And so in terms of building sustainability with the community and being a part of the community and having the community participate, I am the plug between the artists and the businesses and the customers. So artists come to me, they put their work on clothes, I put them on my site, and then we sell it to people because we understand marketing. Artists shouldn't have to worry about business. They should just worry about making art, getting as many fans as they can, funneling those fans to the website. Those fans give them money, and then I disseminate it to them. And so in order to do that, because a lot of the people that follow me are artists and they're fans of art, I make sure to engage with artists by giving them opportunities to prove how good they are. Because I was an artist for 5 years before I ever ran this website. And what I found was a lot of the art shout-out accounts post the same people. They're going to post C-Night, they're going to post Mike Tony, they're going to post J-Tune. They're not going to post Brooklyn Tango, even though he's a legend. But they're going to keep posting the same people because that does well in their algorithm. So to shake that up, you use meritocracy. You give people an excuse to show how great they are, and if they are great, you reward the greatness. And so we did an art contest with Afro Anime 365 some months ago, where we did a 90s aesthetic challenge. And the goal was to see, what does your character look like in a 90s anime aesthetic? And we gave them things that would challenge an artist. We made them draw backgrounds and a scene and expressions. Because most people don't do that, because most people that don't do art wouldn't think to do that. They just see a piece and think something's missing, but they wouldn't know what, because they're not artists. And so engaging with the community and challenging them, I feel is the best way to connect to it, because then they know you're not reading from a script. They know that you're invested in them and that their investment in you will be reciprocated. And when they understand that, interesting things happen. That's how I get to talk to you. You caught this blurred over shout out. You caught this nerds and hip hop shout out. You caught a third shout out from somebody I don't remember the name of. All them people is fixtures in the community, and if them people rocking with somebody, I'm rocking with somebody, because this is the community that is sustained. I'm freaking 20. I should be doing things that I shouldn't be doing right now. But because of this community, I get to sit on my porch and eat roti and talk to dope people.
Wow. Okay. But you're only 20?
Yes.
Wow. I feel so old. Wow.
How old are you by shows?
By shows?
Yeah, by shows. You can't say Sailor Moon, that's cheating. What by in terms of Cartoon Network shows, how old are you?
Ooh, Cartoon Network. So there's the Powerpuff Girls. Ed, Ed and Eddie. Rocco. Wait, no, that's Nickelodeon.
I'm glad you caught yourself. They was gonna skewer you in the
Yeesh. But yeah, just think of any 90s cartoon. Like, that's basically me.
Dang, you an authentic 90s baby. Lucky.
Yep.
Wish I was one of y'all. Y'all be having so much fun.
The 90s are back. The 90s are back. We are the best generation.
Unfortunately, I'll be inclined to agree. Your music does unfortunately slap very hard.
But you guys are okay. You guys are, you're doing your thing too. It's okay.
We are? Name 5 20-year-olds that are going hard.
I don't know any 20-year-olds personally like that.
Wow, I feel so represented.
Do you know any? Maybe you can enlighten me.
Okay. Number 1. Wow. I'm gonna tell you a secret, okay?
Uh-huh.
Tell you a secret. When you're an artist, you learn that art is a superpower. And if you're a young dude, you understand. If you're an introverted young dude, you understand that art can be used to talk to people you ain't got no business talking to. So if you draw somebody, you will get their attention. And sometimes you can spin their attention into a fire conversation. And so when I was 14 when I learned this, I got into some pretty bad situations. I ended up speaking Spanish on the live to an Instagram model from Spain, and my girlfriend popped into the live. And I've never felt such Nigerian rage in all of my 20 years of life. But years later, I learned that you could also use this for business. And so I came across this individual by the name of the Shapeshifter. And the Shapeshifter goes impossibly hard. She's the only person that's my age that goes harder than me in terms of their creation of content, but also their curation of content, and also the relationship within their community. When TikTok was new, they went viral on TikTok. And then before TikTok, they were going hard on here. Before they were going hard on here, they were making all types of different things, doing collaboration with people because they understood their pool of talent and they were able to leverage their pool of talent in many different avenues, from dancing to comedy to acting to aesthetics. All those things allowed them to be in an interesting position. But yeah, the Shapeshifter is number 1. The Shapeshifter is Jada the dog. Second would be Soul Teishi. Soul Teishi is like the TikTok Shadow Hokage. This man raps, he does comedy, he writes things. This man writes entire books and gives it to his Discord for free. He is like an exemplar of like young anime people. Then there's Shizzle Mac. Shizzle Mac lives down the street, but I will never see him. And he be out here doing great things. He's also the TikTok Hokage. So a lot of the TikTok people are my age. But in terms of people like running businesses and stuff, or even like making manga and comics, there's not a lot of them. Like Art Kid Kuda is probably the only artist around my age that's doing like really well in the black art sphere. Seti Joe is probably a year or two older than me, and Seti Joe goes hard as well. He makes a lot of really good art. So there's people that are around my age, but like they don't own things, and honestly they shouldn't, because there's so much experience to know. I've had to learn so much from trial and error. I've been canceled like 3 times. I lost all of my money because I didn't have my shipping. Like I turned on automatic fulfillment, and like 50 people bought something in a week. So I ended up having overdraft fees for a nice little bit.
Oh, wow. You live and you learn. You live and
We
you learn.
sure do. Well, we operate on a balance now. I'm not playing games with these people no more.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah, like TikTok. I feel like your generation is really big into TikTok. I like I made a TikTok, but I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to act. So so I feel like I will fail at TikTok.
Failure time. There was a time where I came across the TikTok people. Y'all have been here the whole time and ain't nobody want to tell me. And these people got like 100,000 and 400,000 and a freaking million. So when I got to the million person, you have a million followers and I can talk to you? We gonna make some money. Because we're influencers. We got businesses. You know, you get an influencer to shout you out. They followers become your followers. They people buy your stuff. You good. So I come into this person's DM strong. I'm ready. And I roll up and I'm like, hey, you're dope. Can I give you $100 and a free shirt? And they're like, yes, you can. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna make that $100 back tomorrow. You got 1 million followers. I'm about to get up out the hood. And so I send this person their thing. I send them their money. They make the post.
Wow.
I got a shout out on an Instagram page and a story. That was it. I looked Benjamin Franklin in his eye for a solid minute. And that's when I realized TikTok, black TikTok, doesn't generate the money that white TikTok does. But what I've learned now is that you can utilize TikTok to find people that have talent, and you can curate viral content with those people. So there's an experiment that I did with this dude. He plays guitar really well. And so what I had him do is I knew it would do really well if I had him play Bluebird from Naruto. And so I paid him to play Bluebird from Naruto wearing one of my shirts. That's curating content the same way Coca-Cola would pay for a commercial, or the same way that State Farm pays for a stadium. And so by paying for curated content that I knew would do well that he wasn't thinking of, it did exceedingly well. So in using TikTok as a business person, we leverage the talents, we leverage the talents of the people that are there because they built this skill set and they built this following. And although we might not be able to use them the same way that we can use Facebook ads, they're still talented people, and talent has value that lasts forever.
Wow. That's true. So basically, I should use TikTokers that are talented. Okay. Instead of trying to like create my own content because I will struggle.
Always. I'll be on TikTok swinging swords and getting banned. I got like 10 videos that got taken off of TikTok.
Whoa. Oh, like I saw, you know, like the sword video that you have on your Instagram, like that type, those type of videos.
Yeah, like that, but more violent.
Oh my gosh, how can you get more violent? Are you chopping people up?
I plead the fifth.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So are you like an actual like swordsman person? Like you know how to like use a sword?
Yeah, my teacher lives in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, I'm learning so there's sword fighting gets very complicated, but Japanese swordsmanship can be broken down into things that are internal and external. So like Rurouni Kenshin, for example, that's a more internal style and it's a more defensive style. Whereas like the stuff that you see in One Piece that's very aggressive, that would be like an offensive style. And so when I was first starting to build up the strength and the muscle memory and the speed, that was done using an internal style because it's drilling. It's just doing the same move over and over and over again. You can learn to like put your energy into the blade and all types of craziness. And then later, once you have that foundation, then you can start moving around and slashing stuff and cutting stuff in half. And so like there's a test that was done where there was a water bottle and I slashed the water bottle in half and it flew up in the air and then I hit it. And so like that's the type of stuff that you build up to over the course of years, but it requires a lot of training to get that. And so practicing with the sword requires all of your concentration, And as someone who has a mind that works very fast, having a very dangerous object that I have to keep control of forces me to focus. I enjoy the feeling of focus greatly.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we all need focus in our lives.
Yes, every now and again has its benefits sometimes. It's not always bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Beastars is good. The mystery was gripping. Does anyone know if they ever saw that? I don't care for looking. Beastars got a season 2, Sour Love, so it looks like you're going to find out. Netflix got some more money to drop on people. So we going to see. What do you think about CGI, like, anime?
CGI. I think it's okay. I guess I'm more of an old school type of anime person, but I am growing to accept, the different types of anime styles and the CGIs that are coming out. So it's fine.
We're going to see. I feel like if you're not Pixar or DreamWorks, you should stay away from CGI. Because we don't even have that much 2D animation anymore. Especially in movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Pixar, they're on a whole nother level. Like, like no one can compare to them. Like, I don't know.
What do you think make Pixar special?
Their realism, definitely. Like, I saw this, I don't know if it's a meme or a picture. Like, they zoomed in on, like, Toy Story. They zoomed in on one of the characters. And the detail, like, it looks so lifelike. Like, the fabrics of, like, the toy characters, like, the plastic ones, the furry ones, like, it just looks so real. And I think that's what stands them out amongst, like, the other type of, animators. Like, their realism is so, so good. And their storylines, of course. Like, their storylines, it just tugs at your heart. It's just like, oh. I love Pixar.
Does Pixar hit us? How does Pixar hit us from a writing standpoint? Like, why does Pixar make everybody cry?
Because I feel like they tell real stories, like things that real people have gone through or experienced. Even children, I feel like a lot of times people think that children don't experience things, or like they don't experience like loss or things like that. But they show that human emotion, that true, authentic human emotion that real people feel, and the storylines, the things that real people go through, and they show that, but they show it in a way that's not so, I guess, scary.
Yeah, there's always hope in Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the one thing about Berserk that hit me after struggling with freaking Berserk, the whole thing is depressing. It starts off, homie gets kidnapped from his mother. Nope. Why would I? No, you're not. Amani's there. Amani's on the porch. Maybe you should get her. I'll be inside in 10 minutes.
Ooh, yeah, that would be cool.
What was I about to say? Oh, Berserk. There we are. Berserk makes you experience the lowest of the lows, so that when you get anything that's a semblance of the high, you feel it. And Pixar does a very good job of balancing the highs and the lows.
Yeah, they do. They do that. It's like right when you think, like right when something terrible happens, it's like on the other side something good happens. Like they don't leave you on a sour note.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people can learn from that. I'm sick of these horribly done cliffhangers. That's the end of the show. It'll be the last episode. I've been waiting for this build up. It's been building, and then find out next episode. Dragon Ball Z. And the show was trash, so you're not getting no season 2.
Dragon Ball Z, like, I could not handle their long monologues. Like, just fight already. Just fight. Like, why are you standing there having a whole conversation with a person, with a villain that you're trying to destroy? Like, I hated that.
Men have feelings too, Portia. You gotta tell your enemies how you feel before you assault them.
Why would they care though? They don't care about your feelings.
You're right.
I'm always like, in the middle of them talking, just blast them. Like, why are you waiting for them to finish their thoughts?
It adds to the suspense.
And then they finished the episode, like the to be continued. It's like all I heard was their whole back and forth monologue. No action happened. So I have to wait till the next episode to actually see something.
Yes. Yes, you do. And you're gonna enjoy it.
I better enjoy it.
What of this year? What anime this year or book this year or like movie this year surprised you with its quality?
Oh, okay. Outside of anime or in anime?
Period. With a T.
Well, I'm somebody that is easily amused. Like, it doesn't take much for me to enjoy something. But I'm a Marvel fan. Like, I haven't read any of the comics though. So I'm not a Marvel comics fan because I never really read any of the comics. And I know people are gonna be like, "What? You're not a true Marvel fan because you haven't read any of the comics." But I love the movies. I love the show. I've seen every movie and every show that came out about Marvel. So WandaVision and what is it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Loki. Like all of those shows I love so much. Like they never fail me. Marvel never fails me. I actually haven't seen the Demon Slayer movie yet. I heard it was fantastic. Like, I heard it was great. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Because I'm still trying to finish up the series. So I'm way behind. I'm way behind.
What part of Demon Slayer are you at?
I'm only on episode 15 of season 1.
Is that the part with Zenitsu?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, his character is introduced, and the boarhead character. Do you remember the spider episode?
Yeah, the spider with the really sharp razor webs and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Inosuke is there, and Inosuke gets into the fight when he gets jacked up.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that's actually my favorite. Like that arc is my favorite in all of Demon Slayer. And Sour Love Speaks Facts. WandaVision wasn't supposed to work. I was genuinely shocked that I liked WandaVision as much as I did.
Yeah. When I saw the trailer, I didn't think I would like it that much. Yeah. But it was definitely unique. Yeah, the storyline, like, I loved it. It was so different.
Yeah. It did everything that it needed to do, and it did it well.
Mm-hmm.
And then toward the end, like, everything makes sense in the way it ties together. And even if you don't read comics, that the good thing the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done is it's created a digestible canon that interweaves itself within each other that everybody can understand. So, like, Monica Rambeau and stuff. By the way, did you see Captain Marvel?
Have I seen the movie Captain Marvel? Mm-hmm.
Homegirl was in the movie for 5 minutes, and she stole the whole show.
It's been a while, though. I don't remember it, though.
The black lady. I don't remember her name, but she killed it.
Oh, yeah.
She did better acting in a movie than Samuel L. Jackson. That's how, hey, she went in. In the movie for all of 5 minutes and made the whole thing passable. But in Marvel Comics, the original Captain Marvel before, what's the white lady's name? Carol Danvers. There we are. Before Carol Danvers in Marvel, the original Captain Marvel is Monica Rambeau, who is Photon. And so the black lady that's in WandaVision, she gets the powers of Captain Marvel because she was given those powers before Carol Danvers was. And so, as a nod, they've now given her powers, and that's why she's Photon, and she can do all the stuff that she does.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Yes, but Marvel comics are also very convoluted, and that's why nobody, like, if you're not a diehard fan of Marvel comics, you shouldn't read them because they're confusing, they don't make sense. Anything involving the Avengers is idiotic. Spider-Man villains are incredibly overpowered, and Spider-Man is underpowered in his stuff, and then overpowered in everybody. Spider-Man punched the Hulk into space.
What? I didn't even know he could do that.
Yes! Spider-Man is super OP. He punched the Hulk into the space, and he was like, yeah, most of the times I can't let loose, but this is how strong I am. And then 3 weeks later, some random Russian that likes wearing gimp suits and fur ties him up and has him hanging from a building. So everything is inconsistent in Marvel. MCU is at least standard. There are standardized power scaling in the MCU, but that's a tangent for another day. I need to go be a good big brother now. So, Portia, thank you for blessing the live. It's greatly appreciated. Bless your existence greatly. If you ever need anything, just let me know.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Bye.